afternoon. It's Kristine Flook over here, Urbanize Properties, commercial real estate in Florida. Stephen Libman and I have the pleasure of hanging out today for a few minutes and talk about a recent transaction that we had the privilege to work together on. Lake Forest is the name of the asset in Daytona Beach. Thank you, Stephen, for spending some time with me this afternoon.
Yeah, of course. Congratulations to you and your team. Monster project we got closed.
Yes, Janet Crucet and us are very glad that we were able to work with you and your group to get this over the finish line. Let's talk a little bit about how this kind of unfolded. I know when we first connected, which was probably about 2 years ago, we were sourcing some acquisitions for you. I think it was some land, and mostly at that time you were looking for self-storage.
Yeah, we were building about 380,000 square feet of self-storage in and around the Orlando area. So we were looking actively for new projects and things like that. And so we looked at a couple of deals together, never got one executed. And we were newer in the space. I mean, we did a couple of deals, right? But we did like $10 to $15 million deals. Mm-hmm. And, you know, so we sent a couple over, underwrote a couple, put a few LOIs out, but didn't get anything done. But yeah, it just kept bringing us some deal flow, and we really appreciated you guys keeping us in the loop as to like what was going on. You brought some multifamily deals to us too, and I think a lot of times you would bring us a deal while we were raising capital for an existing project, because we've done just about 9 deals in just under 3 years, so we've been hustling. So haven't had one that popped while we were raising capital and finding other deal flow until Lake Forest, right?
Yes, so there we go. So we started in that one like October, November of last year, I think it was, is when we started working on it.
Yeah, it's taken some time.
And we said, well, there were 2 deals that were on the table. One of them had a little bit of a clock that needed fast, and the other one needed, Lake Forest took a little bit longer. It didn't have so much of a time clock that required.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was,
I ran into you and you were working on the other raise. Yeah.
So it was interesting because you sent this deal over to us and I recognized the name of the owner, and I reached back out to you and I said, hey, I know these guys. I met Lloyd Jones up in Manhattan like 8 years ago. And we ate some overpriced eggs at the Harvard Club, and I've kept in touch with Chris, but didn't know about this project, right? And I think it was probably because our paths hadn't crossed on this level of deal before. They're working in the $40 to $100 million space, and we were in the like 5 to 15 space, right? And anyway, we got back on the phone with them and we kind of very transparently told them where we were at with our equity and where we were at and looking to go. And this deal was a little bit different. It wasn't a straight acquisition. It was a recapitalization. And the difference, if you don't know, is that a recapitalization basically exchanges equity, one equity group out for another. So the owner goes in and executes on a deal, puts his own money into the deal, and then a recap, you could take that owner out, right? And you can recapitalize them. And that gives a good opportunity for us because we have a real solid look at the financials. We know that they've owned it and operated it for 18 to 24 months, and we can see the historics. We know where it's going. We know what the challenges have been. And it really gives us a good opportunity to underwrite the deal differently than an acquisition without the 60-day timeline, right? This was a $12.2 million equity raise on a $42 million acquisition. So our biggest equity raise to date was $4 million. So this was triple, right? And we committed to it, but we were very transparent about the fact that, hey, we don't know how long it's going to take us to bring this capital in. And they said, hey, that's okay. We'd like to work with you guys. And they worked with us on this project, and it took a little bit longer than we would have liked, but it closed. We're good to go. The net operating income is increasing. The value of the property has increased by almost $8 million since we went under contract on it. So it's a huge win for us and our investors, and kudos to you and your team for just staying in front of us, bringing us the deal flow that we were asking for. And then even some one-off opportunities like this that, we didn't ask for, right? We weren't saying, hey, Kristine, bring us $50 million deals.
Right.
But you said, hey, I had this conversation. This is interesting. This is why I think it's interesting for you. And we went and had the conversation, and, it turned out that really opened up a whole new path for our business, where we won't be doing $10 million deals anymore, right? We're going to be sitting in that $40 to $75 million space now. So it's changed the trajectory of our business, and you guys were just, consistent bringing deals. And, I'll be honest. Sometimes you were a little bit like, hey, did you get my email? Text me a bunch of times. And Travis and I were buried in something else. And Travis and I would look at each other and say, this lady's relentless. And it turns out to be a fantastic quality, because we knew that you weren't giving up on us and you weren't giving up on these deals. And, we just had to really be clear about, hey, here's the expected timeline when I can get back to you, because we're buried in this thing. And once that happened, communication was solid. Once we got it under contract, it was like, okay, let's go do a deal.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you for adding all of that. We, again, Janet Crucet over here, and we just really appreciate it at Urbanize Properties. We like working with solid people like you and your team, and like you said, with Travis. And I know that Florida isn't the only, let's call it, state that you're looking at for properties. And I know that we've touched base on other states as well. So that's great. And definitely looking forward to the future. And I guess we'll be working on something before the end of the year, hopefully before the end of 2021.
Yeah, still got a lot of runway left in the year. We just finished this deal, so we're taking a couple weeks to take a breather, and then we'll be back at it, underwriting new deals and looking for new acquisitions. And yeah, it's great to have a partner in you guys, knowing that you're not just Florida specific. We've talked about deals in Ohio, we've talked about deals in the Carolinas and Texas. So, it's nice to have some partners that have a more national reach, because not everybody does, right? Most people have their set geography, and it's good to know that we're finding a lot. And, all the deal flow that you guys have brought us has been off market, which has been fantastic. So it's a testament to you and your team, and staying in front of the sellers and letting them know that you have real buyers that are looking to make offers. And yeah, we expect to make a few more, hopefully by the end of the year.
Excellent. Excellent. Anything else we should add to our listeners here to finish this off?
No, I think if you're looking for property, right, if you're looking to buy or sell, make sure you're reaching out to Urbanize. We have done about $200 million in acquisitions over the last 30 months or so. And we've worked with the very big houses all the way down to very small houses. But it all comes down to one thing, right? Who do you know, like, and trust? Who's bringing you deal flow? Who can you work with? And Kristine and her team are fantastic. So make sure you reach out to Urbanize and Kristine and get on their list, because their deals, they go fast.
Yes, they do. Thank you so much for mentioning that. And over here in South Florida, it's a big old sunny day over here with a few palm trees. And we just look forward again to meeting with you and your team on the next opportunity. Thanks for hanging out with us for this quick moment here with Stephen Libman, Integrity Holdings, Kristine Flook, Urbanize Properties. Have a fantastic day.
Thanks, Kristine.